racing after us through the winding streets of Monte Carlo.
And we made a bad turn and got blocked, and they pulled right behind us, and they had us cornered.
Producer Jill Rackmill was in the passenger seat and says the men seemed desperate to get our tapes.
He said, "Do you want to die? Do you want to die right now, right here tonight? Because I will kill you. I will kill you tonight. You will die tonight. You don't give me every single tape, you're going to die. Do you understand me?"
Our tapes and discs were destroyed, even the one in the camera hidden under the seat.
Something snapped in him, and he tore through the car and got that tape.
Yet another example of the secret life of the Saudi royal family, or at least some of them. The kind of unchecked behavior that the monarchy tries to keep quiet. The kind of behavior that has enraged fundamentalist religious groups and liberal reformers who both seek an end to the royal family's reign.
They are not only involved in financial corruption, they are involved to their feet with the worst type of moral corruption you can imagine.
And in the course of our 2020 investigation, we found plenty to back that up, starting with prostitutes. Convicted Madam Annika Brumark and one of her call girls, Andrea Dalebout, were involved in one of two huge French prostitution rings that catered to the rich and the royal. The stock in trade was beautiful women and young boys brought to certain high-ranking Saudi princes at beachfront hotels and yachts docked in the harbor.
So they come to Europe and they do everything that they can do.
And you get a huge amount of money.
How much?
How much? Well, it goes to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
What? Really?
Yes, of course.
That much money?
Yes, if you really have a prince who likes you, my God, it's nothing. It's even nothing. That's maybe for one night.
The French court verdict in the most recent prostitution case lists the name of one customer who received many women, Prince Abdelaziz bin Fahd, son of Saudi King Fahd. Such behavior in Saudi Arabia is a crime under its strict laws and would result in serious punishment, at least for a commoner.
When you hear about someone who broke the law, the question really is, who is he? And the prince is above and outside the law.
Saudi law is even harsher in regard to drugs. It's one of the crimes for which public beheadings have been carried out for years. In fact, just last month, 3 accused drug smugglers were beheaded in a public ceremony. But at the same time, U.S. and French authorities tell 2020 that Saudi officials are protecting a royal prince accused of one of the biggest cocaine deals in Europe in recent times. His name is Nayef bin Fawaz al-Shalan, now under indictment by U.S. and French authorities, but safely living in Saudi Arabia, according to Tom Raffanello of the Drug Enforcement Administration in Miami.
His status is he's a fugitive in the United States. He's a fugitive in violation of federal narcotics laws.
According to U.S. and French authorities, the prince moved some 2 tons of cocaine from South America to this airport outside Paris, using his diplomatic status and a royal family 727 jet.
It doesn't happen without him. He is a key co-conspirator. He's the straw that stirs the drink. He made it happen. No plane, no dope. Dope stays in Colombia.
U.S. authorities say the deal was actually put together by the prince in the Saudi desert, where the prince, the one on the left, posed with his alleged co-conspirators. The prince has claimed that he was cleared of any wrongdoing by the Saudi government, and that he was talking about bringing in plastic piping, not cocaine.
That's an alibi. He smuggled dope.
And as to why a wealthy prince would smuggle $36 million in cocaine, the DEA says there might be ties to terrorism.
Later on in the investigation, we came to find out that he would use some or all of the profits to fund terrorism.
In the wake of 9/11, the Saudi government has made much of its cooperation with the U.S. in going after terrorism, even producing this series of television commercials.
In the war on terrorism, we all have a part to play.
But in the case of the prince allegedly involved in narcotics and terrorism, American authorities say the Saudi government has been less than helpful. In particular, French investigators say the powerful Saudi Interior Minister, Prince Nayef, the country's top law enforcement official, has effectively stood in the way of the investigation into a fellow prince.
I think that we got what we could get out of the Saudi Arabian government at this time.
Did you get enough?
Not as far as I'm concerned.
The Saudi government had no comment for 2020 on the case, which goes to trial next month in Miami, without the prince, who remains safe in Saudi Arabia.
The law does not apply in the same way to the prince. We only hear about beheadings of the ordinary man. There is more and more of a gap between the rulers and the ruled, and the drastic loss of trust between these rulers and the people they rule.
These are trying times for the royal family of Saudi Arabia, made up of at least 5,000 princes, all now jockeying for power. While only a handful of them are alleged to be involved in criminal activities, the extent to which such behavior is tolerated or covered up only feeds the efforts of critics who say this royal family's time is up.
And these people are putting their head in the sand and waiting until the place burns. You're watching this behavior moving from boat to boat, from shop to shop, from hotel to restaurant. No, that is going downhill, and this is the beginning of the end.